Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
Got it. All right. So, going to do a little intro about our guest today. Woody Goss has been birding for about 10 years, he told me. But just recently, he's kind of discovered our rich community of birders in the Chicago area and has discovered chasing and apps that help you do things like that. So, and probably due to the circumstances of our weird times, has found some more time to be birding. So he just decided to do a Cook County Big Year based on those things. And when I spoke with him Tuesday, his total is quite high. It's even risen since I spoke to him. So, and he still has some attainable targets like redneck grebe and western grebe and some other ones that he could probably tell you and get it out in public, and then people will tell him if they find it, which is always helpful. So so he's found that the local knowledge from the birders he gets around the area is invaluable and a huge help when doing a county big year. So we'll talk a little bit about that. When he's not birding, he's a musician who plays with the band Wolfpack. I'll spell that in the chat. And he also does some solo work. And he did an album called Rainbow Beach, which is inspired by the birding hotspot on the south side, Rainbow Beach. I listened to it just recently. Very cool, chill soundscape, really soulful. And it reminds me that like lyrics are not always the way to go. It's like if you want to express something about a place, an instrumental can be really cool. So I was happy to hear that. So, and he's also been doing some short videos for Chicago Audubon to highlight topics such as diversity in birding, underbirded spots in Chicago, and underappreciated bird species. Those are on the Chicago Audubon Instagram. And I listen to those, and some of the music is in the background of them. So yeah, without further ado, welcome Woody Goss. How's it going, man?
Hi. I'm good. I got a new bird today. I'm happy as can be.
Yeah, I hear you.
What'd you get?
Harlequin duck at Park 566, where I've been
Sweet.
going every day, most days, and it was like right past the point where I usually stop. My friend Joe found it. Joe and
Sweet.
Amanda.
So what does that put your total at then?
I'm should be at 281 now.
Wow.
Thank you.
And isn't the record 288 if I'm not mistaken?
Something like that. Yes, it's exactly 288.
So
Me too.
yeah, that's really cool. I was thinking about, because I knew I met you before, like we talked, and I looked back on the GroupMe for, I don't know, Cook County RBA or whatever, or the chat, and I was like, oh, here we were talking about Harris's sparrow because you were looking for one, and I told you about the one in Lake County, and then you're like, okay, thanks, but I need it for Cook, and then like on like October 14th, I was like, there's one at Montrose now, in all caps, like a direct message. So,
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling you got one because there were 18,000 after that. So cool, but that's how we met, and it just shows that GroupMe is a really great way to communicate with other birders. Do you want to talk a bit about what that app is and why it's so helpful?
Yeah. I think everybody should be on GroupMe, even if you're not like trying to chase every bird, because maybe one afternoon, you'll be sitting there with nothing to do and you look at it and there's like something across the street from you. Like years ago, I was on what's called iBet, which is like the older generation of what GroupMe is now, right? Or something like that. It's an email thing. And that's how I saw my first snowy owl. It was during one of the eruption years. And there was a snowy owl across the street from me in Rogers Park. And, that that kind of thing can happen, you know. And also, I selfishly want everybody to be on GroupMe because the more people who are on it, the more birds everybody gets to see. It's kind of a win-win. So yeah.
So yeah, GroupMe is an app that you can put on your phone where you don't have to give out your personal information. So no one has it, but everybody communicates through the app. And there's different ones. There's Cook County RBA, then there's a chat for if you want to talk about birds that aren't as rare or notable, or just, ask questions. Or there's one for Lake County, there's one for the suburbs. So they can be really helpful when you're trying to do a big year. Not to be Troy Aikman here, but I am also doing a big year in Champaign County, and I found it super helpful to have that. So the four things I feel like you need when you're doing a big year are time, help, luck, and skill, and pretty much in that order. And so that's the help part of the equation.
Yeah, I didn't really spell it out, but GroupMe is a phone app that you download on your phone, and then there are groups that you can join within the app, and you just need to ask somebody who's in it. There, I think somebody posted a link that you could click in the chat, and there's for each region there's a rare bird alert group where you only post about the bird and where you can go see it. And then there's a chat where you argue with people about things that have nothing to do with birds. No, where you talk about things that aren't a rare bird alert, basically, that have to do with birds, like how they're behaving, or maybe a bird that's not super duper rare, but you want to people want to know where it is.
Yeah. There are a lot of rules for that groups, for the Cook County RBA group, that you need to follow, so that they created the chat to be a little bit more open, so they don't have to scold people. So I mentioned at the beginning, I haven't asked you this yet, but I have a feeling. But what part do you think COVID played in your deciding to do a big year?
Honestly, not a lot, because my band wasn't playing at all anyways. We were on a break from doing live shows, and then COVID happened. So it was like, well, you're not playing live anyways. So
are you guys like clairvoyant or something?
Yeah, seriously. I don't know why that happened. We played a really big show, which was Madison Square Garden. And then after that, it was like, okay, the next year we're taking it easy. And so I just was going birding all the time anyways. Yeah.
So there's that time factor of the equation. You just, if you're going to do a big year, you have to have time to do it.
Yes, that helps. I mean, I should be doing other things, but I am lucky that I was able to, take time away from working and just be totally insane about birding every minute of the daylight.
Yeah,
I'm lucky is what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that's great. So when exactly did you decide? Like, was it a certain point in the year? Was it a specific number or event? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rainbow Beach, September 5th, Yellow Rail. I was like, oh, damn. Okay. I'm probably not going to see this for a while. So I went on to the eBird alert, or what's it called? Your like target species. Mm-hmm. Another great tool like GroupMe that will also get you totally hooked on this thing is that eBird has like a list of the birds you haven't seen. So I go on that list and I'm looking through it and I'm like, I can do that one. I could do that one. That one maybe I could do. I started making a list, and then I sent it to Isu. I sent it to Nathan Goldberg, and I'm like, what do you think? And they're like, we think you could get this number. And nobody thought I could do 280, but here we are. So yeah.
Wow. Do you remember what they thought their estimate was?
Yeah, they both said like, mid 270s, low 270s. And but I don't know, I got lucky and I go so much. I go birding so much.
Cool.
And I
Well,
chase like crazy. I can chase like crazy. I'm self-employed. Nancy remembers when she found the Godwits, I don't live nearby, but I was there very quickly. Today I was at the Harlequin Duck in like 10 minutes because I'm already out there birding probably when somebody sees something. That will change once I get back to a, working existence.
right. So do you have a sense of how many you saw like after they were reported and you chased, and how many you found on your own?
Yeah. I did not find a ton of rarities on my own. The rail was one. Whooping cranes, Isu and I got, which is not really, we didn't really chase them. I was out there for hours looking at cranes, and then Scott Judd had them at La Ba. We were I was still looking at cranes, but we were like, okay, any minute now, maybe they'll show up, and they did. But yeah, I wonder about that. I think the more people that go on to GroupMe, the more you'll be able to do this just like chasing. Like Isu blew my mind when I saw his year list of how many rarities he found by himself, which is it still boggles my mind after doing this for so long. I don't get it, but I was just chasing what other people found for most of the year, and I had a pretty high number when I found it, when I saw the number.
Yeah, he was really, someone mentioned that, like, I think it was Matt Svedis, who was one of his mentors when he was with the Illinois Young Birders. And yeah, he mentioned specifically, like, he was very impressed at how many he found on his own in Cook County. Because Cook County, I think it's kind of easy to sit back and wait for all those birders that live up there.
There's a lot of people.
And
there's people going to places like Montrose every day. When Steve Huggins is in town, he's going to North Pond every day. So I was like, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go where people aren't going, and it might give you a better chance, or maybe it won't.
Yeah, no, I think at the end of this, you should actually do a percentage. Like, my percentage is right around 80% of, I found most of my birds on my own.
Oh, wow.
And the rest, but that's because I live in a county where there's 60 people on the GroupMe that I made and tried to invite people to, and we're getting bigger. I think we started with 25, so you get spoiled in Cook. But it's great. It just shows like what a community we have. And yes, there's more people, but it's cool that they talk to each other.
People seen my dog yet in the lower corner of the screen? This is important. Tim.
I think your name is covering them up. Aw. Hi, buddy.
Chilling with us. What do you think, Tim? Tim is actually a pretty good birder, but he tries to kill them.
Oh.
He's found me some birds, believe it or not, on our walks. Sometimes he finds like window collisions. Like he found a Tennessee warbler. I think he found an ovenbird.
Oh, wow. Did you call CBCM?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do people know about that thing? That's a good shout out. What's it called?
The Chicago Bird Collision Monitors. I think a quick Google search would give you their number. I have it in my phone. If you want, like, ask me, I'll put it in the chat. That's if you find an injured bird, you can call them and ask what to do. A lot of times they can either come get it, or sometimes you can drop it off at Peggy Notebart Nature Museum. That's the one on the north side that I know of. And then take it out to usually Willowbrook, which is in the suburbs. So they're amazing, the work they do. to rehab birds and they also go, you can volunteer with them and have various jobs. And one of them is to go downtown and literally pick up birds that have hit windows downtown. I think you have to be a special kind of person to do that because it's got to be hard. But, God bless you if you do, because it's
I'm sharing a video in the chat. One time I called them recently there was a brown creeper on the sidewalk, and they were like, grab that bird so that nobody steps on it, and like take it somewhere where we could come get it. And when I grabbed it, it started climbing up my body, and it perched on my glasses for a second. And then it was fine. It flew away.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Maybe I'm gonna maybe Edward can play that, not to put him on the spot.
And I used it to become an internet celebrity.
Yeah, maybe you can get it queued up for later, because that would be cool to watch. Sweet. So yeah, where am I here? So in September you just started to do, but do you know what number you were at in September?
I don't. I was looking at this, like when I decided to do this. I
would think you're probably in the 250.
It was 255. You're right on the money. Yeah, I was at 255, and I had this list. It was like probably, maybe, and then they were like, East is like, you should move this one to probably and move this one to maybe and stuff like that. It helped me a lot. It was really good. I showed my list to everybody. Aaron Gyllenhaal also helped me a great deal. He's really into the Cook County thing. He set a record at 281, which is what I got.
Ooh, you're
today.
tied.
Yeah, but he was doing this a while ago. But these people, it was great. Once I told them what I was doing, they all loved to help. That's one thing I love about the Chicago birding community is they, if you ask questions, they will go on and on about where you can look for a harlequin duck or western grebe or redneck grebe. It's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I believe we were talking about local knowledge, and you said you needed a glaucoskull, which you already have, so never mind.
Old news.
But we mentioned the magic roof out.
Yeah, tell me where the magic roof is. I never heard that one actually.
It's pretty much across from Dead Stick Pond. It's in very industrial area, and
I didn't know there was a roof though.
There. What's that?
I didn't know there was an actual roof though.
It's like a roof. I think it's corrugated metal. Is that the word? I'm like blanking on the word corrugated, but
yeah, it sounds right.
Rusted, and they're up there often. You can get Iceland gulls and glaucus. What's the other one? Well, Thayers and Kumlians. That's both. So yeah, very cool. Oh, and lesser blackback, great blackback, gull central. So yeah, I remember Fran Morel, when I was talking to him about Plum Creek once, how he called me because he had to explain in great detail of how to do Plum Creek, and I think he talked to me for like a half an hour. That's how into it people get. So
yeah, well, it's probably the only thing I know of in my life where the actual verbal transmission of knowledge still happens. Like I can't go online and search, what's the best place? Like, how do I find birds in Cook County? I have to go to a person and in real life ask them, and they tell me. There's nothing else like that I know of. There's
it is very special. And
that's cool.
And the response that you get, people are they're not only willing, they're like giddy.
Yeah.
Ooh, here's the spot I know about, and they want to tell you because.
And then you also hear crazy stories about how things have changed. Like talking to Al Stokey, I told him I saw 200 house finches or something. And he's like, I remember when it was a big deal to see a house finch in Chicago. I never would have imagined that was the case.
Yeah, that historic stuff is cool. I mean, sometimes it can be a little sombering, like when Greg Nee says, "Oh my God, the goals we used to see, the numbers," and it's like,
Yeah.
I love knowing that, but I'm also like, hurts my heart to know that,
Oh yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of depression. It's true. It's the truth.
Yeah, well, I think it just reminds us that as birders, that if we want to keep seeing these birds, then we have to be willing to do the conservation part. Duck hunters
Totally.
do, for God's sake, like they pay for their licenses and it renews wetlands. So we have to come up with a way to make our money as birders go to, making birds stay around. So it's a whole nother topic. We'll do another Birds and Bites on that for sure. But so what are some of the local spots that you've learned from these people? What were some of the ones that have been your go-to spots, or talk about that a little bit?
Well, these days, Rainbow Beach, I named the album after it. That's definitely my favorite. Like, I love the Amospiza sparrows, Nelson sparrow, Lacan sparrow. I love seeing those. And that's the spot in Chicago. And it's also where I got that yellow rail, which is, if there is a spot to get a yellow rail, like that's one of them. Steve Huggins had one there before. And in general, you see people who go for Lacan sparrows say that's when they saw a yellow rail. They like the same type of spot. So Rainbow Beach is the bomb. And also steelworkers. I love hearing Aaron Gyllenhaal talk about when he used to go to steelworkers before it was a park, and some of the crazy birds he's seen there. The South, you just call that the South Side Lake Shore, from Jackson Park, what's it called? South Shore Cultural Center, Rainbow Beach, Park 566, Steelworkers. I'm spending my life there right now. And then I love Gilson too. Like, I just discovered that when I started lake watching. I got this horribly expensive spotting scope that's awesome, and I go to Gilson and I could see red-throated loons, and that's freaking cool. And we also got the kittiwake, black-legged kittiwake there. Awesome.
Yeah, and snowy owls show up at steelworkers on the south breakwall, but also we were looking at the kittiwake that won like 2017 or something in the slip, and then my friend Scott and I we're just leaving. We're like, oh, there's a snowy up there, just watching everybody.
Yes.
It's insane. Or like, I think it even came down, and the fishermen were like, dude. And then it flew over like to the low breakwall.
Snowy owls are
just like,
very captivating bird. I had an awesome experience with one with a police officer the other day at Rainbow Beach. Like really close, being totally mobbed by all these crows, and even a kestrel dove at it. Susu, we have to do the next video about snowy owls, I think. And also we're late again, but yeah, that's a good one. It's not supposed to be an eruption year. Like, people in Wisconsin put out this report that Jane Leone showed me. It's like, we're not seeing snowy owls a lot, but there's like a bunch of them. Matt Savitas just said like I think he said 5 of them in Cook County, like right now, at least, so that's cool.
That makes me wonder, because there is a Wisconsin Rare Bird Alert GroupMe, and people were saying the other day, like, well, you don't get a lot of traffic on this because there aren't a lot of people on it. And so, is it because the birds aren't there, or is it because the people aren't there and the people aren't reporting them? And then in Cook County, there's just, I don't know. It just makes me wonder, like, how much of it is that people see so many birds in Cook County because there's just so many people out there. Like, I'm pretty sure
Right.
that no one else in Champaign County is birding right now. Because why would you? Although it was 60 degrees today.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not birdie. There's not like fun stuff around.
I'm
boring,
getting
kinda.
really freaking. It's getting really tough. I'm really glad that duck showed up today. Like I'm going to the same places and seeing the same birds, and normally that's fun, but when you do it every day, it gets draining.
Yeah.
It gets draining.
Yeah, I understand that phenomenon because, and I think Isu said that, and so I knew what to expect. But that's what he said about his big year. Like, man, you go.
Are you there right now? Are you feeling it?
Oh, absolutely. There's only like maybe 2 or 3 species I could even get. And I'm like, what am I doing? I should just give up now. But it's like, you can't give up because you want to set the bar high.
You got to go out every day you can. Yes.
Yeah. And I already missed some birds. So I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, that's interesting. But I hear you. You're feeling those doldrums of it, like being like explosion in May and explosion in September, and then just like.
I was talking to Audrey today. Audrey Carl. She'd be a good one for one of these things. She's trying to get 300 in Illinois, and also doing maybe, I don't know I think she's trying to do a Cook County big year, but she's also going outside of Cook County. And I thought next year, like when I talked to her in September, she was like, I'm going to do this like all the way next year. And I was like, she's going to break the record because I think it could be done. And
the
I talked to her
in Cook County?
Yeah. And I talked to her today, and she's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this next year. We'll see how she feels. But like, she seemed like she wanted it enough to like do it for a whole year. And I really think the people on GroupMe is going to make the difference. Like having more and more people out there doing it. But I don't know, like Isu and I were going over, the differences, like the things I missed that he got. And it's like, even with all the birds that you could have chased, he had an awesome year. He had a finch invasion also, like the winter finches.
Yeah, exactly.
And he found stuff by himself too. Again, I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
That was amazing. Yeah, I'm looking at the top 100 here. I was just thinking, like, my record for Illinois last year was 319. So if she beats that, then she has the record for a female in Illinois. So go Audrey, beat it.
Yes. Well,
cool. So yeah, local patches, we did that. So did you have any, we're kind of like on a downer here, so we'll go with a downer and then we'll bring it back up. But did you have some low lights, any like one that got away and now it's December?
And Susu knows the one that got away for sure. Oh, I messed up my view.
Painted bunting.
That's correct.
I was taking a nap.
The painted
Here you go,
bunting.
Aaron. I'm lifting the downer with this video.
Oh, beautiful. It's like, it literally just like grabbed onto your glasses. Wow. That's incredible. I mean, I know that like we shouldn't rejoice that for the circumstances that brought this bird here, but wow.
Right.
What an interaction. He's got spirit, that little guy.
I like how Monica Martin is getting a shout out here, and Joey Dosick.
Nice. Thanks, Edward. That's
Thanks,
very cool.
Edward.
So yeah, was it the painted bunting in what's that park?
I don't know, but it was 5 minutes from my home and I was asleep. I was not doing a big year at the time. And I woke up and Jack Bechtel had texted me 5 times, like, where are you? And I was like, what? I looked at the phone, the painted bunting. I show up. They're like, it was just seen like 2 minutes ago. The sun's going down.
Yeah, that
was the last time it was seen. Until a few days ago, apparently in Illinois, but there's like a restricted one somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's someone's yard and they don't want to deal with the madness. And,
I think with the
get that.
system of mirrors, though, you should be able to, triangulate a view. Does that count if you see it in a mirror?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to live 5 minutes or so from Winnemac Park, and then I moved here. So then I was like, why didn't you come last year?
You know what I'm waiting for is when people have cameras, remote cameras. Does that count as like you sighted a bird? Like you're watching it live? No, this John's like definitely no. Well, okay. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Brittany has spoken. No. I do agree though. That's a bit much. But like someone was talking about, I think it was Scott Judd was saying that someone's going to come up with GoPro sort of binoculars so that like you can't count the birds, but someone goes to Colombia and they look through the binoculars and it records it, and then people can like use that as a video, like, hey, go and visit this country and see these birds, and people could get to experience that who can't,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like what are those things? Drones. I don't want to tell you how many times I've just fantasized about flying a drone down the lakefront to like videotape different harbors. So I don't have to go there.
Right, just to see if there's anything there.
Yeah. Can I just fly a drone past Monroe Harbor instead of stopping there today? Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but it's a feeling when you do this.
Well, it is, because then you don't have to pay for parking in friggin' Monroe Harbor. Jesus.
Oh, you don't just hang out by your car, like next to Adler Planetarium. Just go right, park your car. It's no problem.
Yeah, I just remember like when we went to see the King Eider, I think the road where the street, because there are no roads. I have roads, you have streets, where they had usual parking was closed. And so I literally paid like $35 to see the King because I had to park in a garage. The spoils of urban birding, man.
Worth it. Nancy, what's your sweater? Your advertising. Can't hear you.
I have to unmute myself. Okay.
There you go. Look at that. Whoa, that is really cool.
Oh.
My kids just my daughter gave me that for my birthday.
Wow, I didn't even know that was around. That's cool.
That's Woody's band with some of the
support fellow artists, don't we?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So
don't make me get a real job.
Else probably knows this, but this is one of the songs that Woody sings that his band does.
I do not sing.
Birds of a Feather, right, Woody?
Yes. Great video. Check it out.
That's awesome.
We have a song called The Bird Watcher.
I just thought it might make you giggle if I wore it tonight. So
can you do we have a song called The Bird Watcher also, that's because of me being a bird watcher.
Yeah.
See, we're spreading the love in a big way.
That's great. I mean,
the bird love.
That's all I write about anymore.
Very talented musician he is. I enjoy the music very much, and Rainbow Beach is awesome. Check out Dude Shut Up. Check out that song, everyone.
Cool. Yeah, I put that the link to that album in the chat at the very beginning. And that, I think that's like fourth or fifth track. So yeah, we can maybe play it later if we have time. So it's pretty awesome. But yeah, we will totally talk about that. I just wanted to bring it back up and say, Woody, can you talk about highlights or your favorite species or your favorite moment on your big year so far?
Yes. I already told the whooping crane story. That was one of my favorites. And then the yellow rail. Yeah, I mean, I'll just stick with the whooping crane story. I was at, oh, by the way, I need to get this out there. Harborside Golf Course is the best place to watch the crane migration, maybe in Illinois, maybe definitely in Cook County. I don't know how to count cranes, but you can see all the way to Palos. You could see all the way to downtown. We saw zillions of them. I was there all day. Anyways, so that happened. Isho showed up. I was like, Isu, I'm seeing thousands of cranes. He shows up and he's like, okay, let's do it. We walk up a hill. Oh, we were technically on the golf course. Don't yell at me. We have to work it out with the golf course to like survey the cranes. Anyways, we walk up on a hill. Within 1 minute, he's like, I got him. He shows up and we're looking at whooping cranes. It was a dream, a life bird for both of us. It was a dream. They flew right over our heads. And Audrey got the same birds. It's incredible. Scott spotted them. Audrey saw them. We saw them.
So Scott
Beautiful.
saw him, and then where was Audrey when she saw him?
Her backyard, I think. She lives right by it. This is what GroupMe is about. You see? Scott saw him. Audrey goes outside. She sees them fly by. About 20 minutes later or whatever, we see them at Harborside Golf Course. How cool is that? Yeah,
I mean, that really is pretty crazy. That can happen, that someone can say, I've seen it, and then you just put yourself in the right place. But I mean, the fact that Isu saw it, like, seriously, that is an amazing.
I love that.
I think Audrey was at she was at Little Red Schoolhouse. She needed the tundra swan.
Ah.
So I saw her that day, and then she had to go home, and then that's where she saw him, from her home. And I'm like,
amazing.
Oh, why didn't I missed him that day. Oh well.
Well, Nancy, you don't always get every bird that you want to when you're chasing birds.
Nice. Well, cool. So yeah, I just wanted
to
finish up the big year moments. But so congratulations, 281 is amazing. Have you like thought about what other ones besides those two grebes that you think you?
I'm going hard for redneck grebe. It's December 2nd. You know, still in the window. I mean, they've been, a lot of years they've come in October, I think, but they still come in December, like right now. So I'm just looking on the lake. I got Jane Leone checking Sag Slough. That's what I'm hoping for. A white-winged crossbill would be really cool. At this point, it's just like whatever,
Yeah, because you're kind of beyond the November rarities, but sometimes they lag a little. And you're right, like the crossbills, even though it's not an eruption year now, the thing is, those are really like Lyons Woods, but that's lake. So
doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you can put in the chat what you need so everyone knows, and then they can tell you if they find it. Everybody learn your 4-letter bird codes.
Yeah.
So Edward, I'm having some problems like direct messaging you. So I wanted you to queue up a song for after this, but I just wanted Woody to talk a little bit about your band and your music, and then we'll play a snippet for everybody.
Which one? I'll get it going.
Well, maybe that Dude Shut Up song, since we kind of had a request for it. It sounds good.
Okay.
Just say the word.
Music, instrumental, jazz. I did jazz in college.
Mm-hmm.
I play keyboard, and that's kind of the deal. It's not jazz, but it's jazz influenced.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfpack is a funk band.
Cool. I'm gonna put that in the chat.
Oh, and look at that album cover. Come on, can you name every species on that cover right now?
Mine's a little blurry. There's blackneck stilts and red.
Very good. Oh, I found those on Rainbow Beach this year, which was a wonderful surprise. Do we have to listen? Are we gonna like listen to the whole song?
Dude, shut up.
Well, maybe is this like the end of the talk?
I mean, you can go for as long or as little as you want, or you can just tell me to play a song and then shut up.
I think what we should do is this is like the exit music. So like, thanks everybody for coming to the talk, you know, and you could play it in the background as people leave, or they can stay and listen.
Yeah, what happens with that is that if the minute someone starts talking, Zoom will noise cancel it. So it could get messy. We can play it in a minute, but I just, or not, we don't have to play it. I just thought, it might be cool, but people have it in the link now, and we have some requests from fans, so it's cool.
Before we end, does anyone have any questions they want me to answer? I feel like we've gone a good amount.
Feel free to just unmute yourself and engage in the conversation here.
Cool.
The Yellow Rail was September 5th and is the earliest Illinois record, fall record. To who asked that? Screntny.
Jeff.
Do I got all the goals? I don't have like really rare goals, like little goal. Glaucus. Those are so hard. Like California goal, like I want to try and get one of those. But if I saw it, I don't know if I'd know how to idea it.
Yeah.
You have both blackbacks and
Yes.
Iceland.
Yes.
Did you say you have Kittiwake?
I have the Kittiwake times 3. I saw 3 in a day.
Nice.
Champion.
You got Saban, so that's not always a given in Cook.
I know. Thank you, Nancy Buse.
Hey, Woody, what finches do you have at all? I mean, did you get any in January, February last year?
Like winter finches? No.
Yeah.
No, I just have red poles, and I just saw this article that the hoary red pole is the same thing as the common red pole, or like it's not distinct genetically. So I don't even know. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm not going to go for it because it's not going to be a species soon. I know you can still count it. I know
It counts this year, so you got to get it.
This is one of those. This is where I'm kind of like, everyone has these. There's so many beautiful gray areas when you start counting birds. Let me tell you. Oh my God.
You have
I mean,
siskin? You have pine siskin?
Yes, a pine siskin. Like
I think
here's
you'll get some finches. You might get a couple finches. So
I would love. Yeah, a crossbill would be freaking cool.
yeah.
Here's a question. I got a Jaeger this year, which was one of the more exciting bird experiences I've ever had. It was really cool. And, there was this whole to-do about trying to ID it. Surprise, it couldn't be ID'd. But they're telling me you can count Jaeger species, Jaeger slash. Is there shame in counting a slash, or should I go for it? 100%. No shame. Okay, Screnny, I love it. Okay. Nancy says shame.
Just slacking.
Yeah. So Woody, the thing is, if you get another unidentified Jaeger, you won't be able to count that one. Right. But if you see one you can identify, then you could count that one.
People, I got another species during the talk. What did I tell you?
That's crazy.
All right. Well, it's a very social. It's funny how social these things are. Especially, I've taken these videos that are just awful. Yeah, join Chicago Ornithological Society. Hit that link.
that's my cue to jump in and say it's renewal season, guys. So if you're already members, it's time to make sure you stay a member. But also, can we just take a moment here to, thank Woody so much for his time here. Thank you guys for coming out here. Thank you so much for, just taking the time to hang out with us and chat this evening. And we'll still be here, still shooting the breeze. But as people make their way out of here, just, thank you all so much for being here and supporting COS and these free and awesome programs. And you guys should absolutely become a member and join us for our next one next month.
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, COS, and hope that was mildly entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. This was great. Learned a lot.
All right. I'll see you at the next White Crested Elania. Or I'm sorry, what was it again? Smallville? That's right. That's right. I always mix those two up. So tough.
Not countable.
Not countable. Yes. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good rest of your Thursday. Bye.
Thank you so much.